In this lecture, we will study about steam nozzle. So, a steam nozzle is a device of varying cross-sectional area, and by the use of this nozzle or this device, we convert pressure energy into kinetic energy. Now, the steam nozzles are used in different type of systems. Steam nozzles are used in case of the steam turbines, gas turbines, jet engines for jet propulsion, and the function of steam nozzle is to control the flow characteristics at the outlet side. Now, a steam nozzle is a passage of varying cross section. Cross section varies, which converts the heat energy of steam into kinetic energy. Since the mass of steam passing through any section of the nozzle remains constant, mass doesn't change. It is a constant throughout the any section. So the variation of steam pressure in the nozzle depends upon the velocity of the steam, its specific volume, and the dryness fraction of the steam. A well-designed nozzle converts the heat energy of steam into kinetic energy with a minimum amount of losses. The main use of steam nozzle is in steam turbine is to produce a jet of steam with a high velocity. High velocity steam jet is required in the steam turbine to get the maximum power in the turbine rotor, and the smallest section of the nozzle is called as the throat section. Now the flow of steam through the nozzle. How the flow of steam occurs? The flow of steam through nozzles may be regarded as adiabatic expansion. Adiabatic expansion means that there is no heat transfer between system and surrounding. The steam has a very high velocity at the end of the expansion, and the enthalpy decreases as the expansion takes place. So when the expansion in the nozzle takes place, there is always the very high velocity achieved at the end of the expansion, but there is friction which exists between the steam and the sides of the nozzle, and because of which some heat is produced as the result of the resistance of the flow of steam in the nozzle. The phenomena of supersaturation occurs in the flow of steam through the nozzle, and this is due to time lag in the condensation of the steam during expansion. So if there occurs a time lag, it causes a phenomena known as supersaturation. You will understand what is supersaturation. In supersaturation, as steam expands in the nozzle, its pressure and temperature drop, and it is expected that the steam start condensing when it strikes the saturation line, but this is not the always case. Owing to the high velocities, the residence time of the steam in the nozzle is small, and there may not be sufficient time for the necessary heat transfer and the formation of liquid droplets. Consequently, the condensation of steam is delayed for a little while. This phenomena is known as supersaturation, and the steam that exists in the wet region without containing any liquid is known as supersaturated steam. Now, there are different types of nozzles. So we generally use three types of nozzles, which are the convergent type of nozzle, divergent type of nozzle, as well as convergent divergent type of nozzle. So in these three cases, what we are seeing is that in the first case, the area of cross section from the inlet to the outlet is decreases, and this type of nozzle is known as the convergent nozzle. In the second case, when the area from the inlet to outlet increases, then this type of nozzle is known as a divergent type of nozzle. And the third case, area from section 1 and up to the section 3 and decreases first, and then the area from this section 3 to the outlet section 2 is increases. Here the minimum section area is known as the throat section or the throat. So you can see here also in the convergent nozzle the cross section area of a nozzle decreases continuously. In the divergent nozzle, when the cross section area of a nozzle if increases continuously from entrance to exit, and in the third case convergent divergent nozzle, when the cross section of a nozzle first decreases from its entrance to the throat and then increases from the throat to the outlet side. So these are the three types of nozzles which are generally used for the different applications. Now next one is flow of steam through convergent and divergent nozzle. The steam enters the nozzle with a high pressure but with a negligible velocity. In the convergent portion from the inlet to the throat, there is a drop in the steam pressure with a rise in its velocity. There is also a drop in the enthalpy or total heat. So in the converging portion, what is happening from inlet to throat? There is a drop in the steam pressure with a increase in velocity. In the divergent portion, from the throat to inlet, there is a further drop of the steam pressure with a further rise in its velocity. So in divergent portion also there is pressure drop and increase in velocity. Again there is a drop in the enthalpy or total heat of the steam which is converted into kinetic energy. The pressure at which the steam leaves the nozzle is known as the back pressure, called as back pressure, where the steam leaves the nozzle. Now the friction in nozzle or nozzle efficiency. So when the steam flows through a nozzle, some loss in its enthalpy or total heat takes place due to friction between the nozzle surface and the flowing steam. So the heat drop H1 minus H2 is known as the isentropic heat drop, and the actual heat drop is H1 minus H3, useful heat drop. So the nozzle efficiency denoted by K is defined as the ratio of useful heat drop to the isentropic heat drop. It is denoted by K, and it is also the ratio of line AC to line AB, which is equal to H1 minus H3 to the H1 minus H2. It will be clear from this figure or from this curve, Mollet diagram. So on the vertical axis we are showing the enthalpy, and on the horizontal axis we are showing the entropy. Here we are, you can see there are two pressures, pressure line P1 as well as pressure line P2, and this is known as the saturated vapor line. So the expansion of the steam occurs in two ways. If the initial condition of the steam is the dry steam, then it will follow from A to B, which is the isentropic expansion, but the actual expansion follows the line or the line A to B dash. So A to B is the isentropic expansion. Enthalpy drop will be H1 minus H1 to H2, but in case of the actual heat drop from A to C, it will be H1 to H3. If the initial condition of the steam is the superheated steam, then the isentropic heat drop will be from P to Q. So HP minus HQ, but PQ dash is the actual heat drop. So HP means enthalpy at P to the enthalpy at point R. So HP minus HR will indicate the actual heat drop. So in this way we can find the efficiency of the nozzle. Thank you.